when your whole life changes before what we'll get into, even before, a lot of people don't know you had a major accident
Yeah.
a couple years ago. Life changed, but what I found more powerful was the way your life changed before that. And I'm talking about when you lost your dad. And I
Yeah.
and I saw these pieces of, I think it was like 30 minutes long, where it was you trying to deal with the pain of losing your dad. And for those you don't know, dude, your dad, bro, I was in Pensacola this past year, and I'm sitting there looking up going, who's Yancy? Yancy. And
Yancy.
Yeah.
and then not realizing, like, for you, that's a monstrosity. Your dad's, I get choked up. I go to his comedy club in New Jersey. I get choked up because they put my dad always went there, and he was a comedian, and they have
Yeah.
James Breuer Way. And every time I walk there, like, a little part of my heart's like, oh, wow.
Wow.
I don't get sad, but
Yeah.
that was, I don't know you from a hole in a wall, but I feel like that was that one of your first awakenings of like, wow, life is nothing what I thought it truly was. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I was at the stage of my career
Yeah.
where it was like, this is it. This is everything we've been working for. I'm a pro surfer. I've done this right. I'm on tour. Like,
Hmm.
and then it's like everything I was building. And then when my dad passed, it was like, well, what was the point of all this? Because
Right.
we built it together, like
Right.
Hmm.
I would have never been a pro surfer without him.
Right.
And it was more so his dream, like, and I,
That's
that,
interesting too.
and what was happening is, I loved comedy, and I felt like my true self was comedy.
Yeah.
But I was like born in this, pro surf world, and I had the genetics, and I was good at it. But it wasn't necessarily who I was. It was more so what my dad was.
Exactly.
So when he died, it was like, I don't know how to heal.
Right.
Do I pro surf or do I comedy? And it felt both were wrong, kind of, because like when we lose a parent, we go into this like, I want to, like,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
make them proud.
Yeah, I'm
But I
gonna
didn't
for
know
you,
how.
Dad. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You understand, man? Your dream ain't gonna be over, man.
Yeah, we go through this like 5-year
Yeah.
I'm gonna avenge their death and
Right.
become world title.
Right. My dad, if he was here, if he's around,
It's true.
in the Rocky.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. So
Wow.
a lot of depression came with it.
Well, it's awesome though for people like you to put that out there. I mean,
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, no matter what we do, when the more we put things out like that,
Yeah.
the more people, I think people really need to hear that stuff. They really need
Right.
to hear that stuff. And it really, because there's a billion people like you. There's a billion
It's never
people.
perfect.
No. I've been through it a lot with brothers and watching their kids, and my parents, thank God they were older. But how old are you when that happened?
I was 22.
Which is young. It's very young.
Yeah.
So
I was just I was just really out there doing my thing, like.
Yeah.
well, you know what I noticed too. What it does, it's like there's like an earthquake in life, and the first thing you realize is, hey man, my world just came to a screeching halt. Why is it? I guess everyone just is going to keep going. And
Yeah.
you realize the train just keep going. Next, you don't understand what just happened. And it's
definitely a reality check of like the world doesn't evolve around you.
Yeah.
correct.
Because in your life, when you're like, oh, I'm the golden child and the prophecy will be fulfilled. It's like this is the movie that you've been telling yourself. So you feel like everyone is around you and it's like I'm going to do this and I'm going to carry the golden staff.
Yeah.
And then when that happens you're like, "Oh, like actually this is just real life." And
Yeah.
like it messed up kind of the selfish dream and brought you to the reality of like, well, I'm a breathing human. I'm a soul, I'm a spirit. And what's actually important?
Right.
Yeah.
Like what is the world title the most important thing? Like that's what you realize, that the movie you're projecting
Right.
isn't the actual movie. And then you can start going inward and start learning like, oh, okay, like, like actually just like walking around and loving people is kind of all you need to do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Don't be a. It's not too hard. It's really not that hard.
Check out the Breuerverse every Saturday, 9 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Pacific. If you can't wait till then, sign up for Patreon and get it 2 days early, along with other exclusive content.